The patient arrived versus scheduled widget will give you a pie graph depending on the date you select, which you can click on the date, navigate through calendars, select a specific date, or click on today, and it will give you the total scheduled versus arrived. If you see that there are more scheduled versus arrived, it means that either patients did not show up or your front desk is not arriving patients accurately. So you need to make that change because if you don't use the appointment statuses, information in other widgets will not be accurate. The next widget is the top program sign up. If you signed up a patient on the date that you selected, it will give you that pie graph with those who did not sign up versus those who signed up. The top ICD code widget will show you a pie graph of the most used ICD codes. As a medical provider, this is going to be very helpful for you because depending on the pie graph that you have here with the information, which you can also filter with any date, you will be able to know what areas you need to specialize in because you might be treating thyroid issues more or weight loss, etc. The most scheduled widgets in this pie graph will show you a graph of all of the most scheduled appointments. You can filter by selecting any date. If you would like to see more widgets on your provider dashboard, you can always send us a message and we would be glad to hear your feedback so we can implement those changes in our new EHR.